You put a nice little dent in it, probably undoing another dent or two as well. And then a coffee cup spills over with regular low quality lukewarm Joe in it, falling to the ground. You can try to catch it if you want to, or you can just let it fall.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and catch it.
Okay, make me an acrobatics check.
12.
You catch the cup, but some spills onto like your shoe or your foot, whichever.
I'm going to,
Still like half full.
yeah, drops onto my shoe, and I'm like, fuck, drink it. Actually, I'm not going to drink it. I'm going to put it down, and I'm going to walk away. I no longer have an appetite. Yes.
Nice. As you head outside, presumably with the others one by one, at the behest of Vinny and his supposed training regime he wants to implant on you guys. It's up to you, Ozzy and Nisa, if you actually head out at all or however much later. But in the meantime, it's at least the three of you, Cassio, Ziggy, and Vinny, for the first little bit.
And you appear 5 minutes later.
Oh, perfect.
Exactly as I said.
Finding a clearing somewhere outside, maybe just an open parking lot, abandoned apartment area, whatever you can give me as a setting, but just somewhere where these guys have room to move. He'll have his arms to his back, just kind of stepping around them, kind of assessing them. All right, everybody, let's get some stretches in before we start. And after they get done stretching, he will then say, all right.
Contorting myself in crazy ways.
I hate it. So, I've seen all what you can do in the heat of battle, whether we're surprised or we start the initiative. But sooner or later, we're going to come across enemies that we cannot fight at the time. And I need to know that you can escape them. I need to know you have the endurance to run away from an enemy that we cannot defeat. But we do plan on surviving as long as possible, and some battles are not worth fighting. So for today's training, you will be escaping Daydreamer.
Evasion.
Yes. And he's gonna summon Daydreamer behind him, and I'm gonna cast Mirror Image.
Okay.
And you guys are gonna see 4 additional Daydreamers appear in different spots. And he's gonna kind of take out like a holocam and turn on a timer. You have 2 minutes to do what you can to escape this undefeatable creature so that you may survive another day. And if you allow Daydreamer to catch you, you fail. Sound good?
I turn around and I start running.
Ziggy, get back here!
I'm gone.
God damn it. 2 of the Daydreamers just start going, just as Vinny's just pinching his nostril. Alright, on my mark, get set.
Osborne like sits at the side. He's like, oh, I'm not participating.
How does this training for abilities work? Will it, like, if I use a key point, will that be for real or for fake? For the day?
It'll be.
I mean, you've got it. You get them back on a short rest. So
Yeah, you should be okay. You should be okay.
Okay.
But do whatever you can. Go! And the remaining Daydreamers will chase after you, Cassio, as the original Daydreamer will just kind of hover over Ozzy. And he just sits there like, nah, dog.
I'm sitting on the side and I'm taking notes.
I'm running with perfect runner's form, but occasionally I'm breaking that perfect runner's form to run on all 4s or my hands.
Okay. Ziggy, roll me a d20 as I assume you're just taking off in a random direction.
Yes.
Okay.
D20.
Gulp.
7.
7.
Seed
Make
seed.
me a dexterity saving throw as you kind of just take off in a random direction and kind of cross a corner.
12.
you lose half of your movement for the turn, and Daydreamer kind of gains traction on you as you trip over just a random pile of garbage and trash bags that was left out behind a building next to a dumpster.
Gah! I'm gonna try and regain my balance and fucking keep going. I'm gonna try and regain that speed.
Okay.
I'm gonna step of the wind to regain that speed. Actually, I'm gonna fucking pew
Nice, nice. Cassio, are you also running?
with my rocket boots.
Yeah, imagine like Dash from the Incredibles on the water, right? Like, but also imagine like a game of basketball with the swiftness of like evasion. You know, with a quick shot trying to like move
Trying
the ball.
to break
Okay.
Daydreamer's ankles.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
exactly. And then
Okay.
whenever Daydreamer gets close, he hits with one of those what is this called?
Oh, do we know where the fighting ring is? Have we figured that out yet?
We have
no,
not.
you don't know where. You know where multiple fighting rings in the city are. You don't know where the tournament takes place. Like,
I'm gonna
capital T,
keep.
capital
I'm gonna keep. Since we're like around the town, I'm gonna keep looking for signs of a fight, like a big fighting ring. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Also, question. Ziggy and Cassio, what are your Constitution modifiers as well as yours?
0, 1,
Okay.
1.
1.
Mine is also
Con
one.
mod? My con
what's
mod
your
is
plus-
3.
Okay, okay. And you said for 2 minutes. Cassio also rolled me a d20. As I assume you're also taking off in a random direction.
Yeah.
14. You've got your footwork going on. You bob and weave around corners, trying to break Daydreamer's ankles. No complications so far.
So you think you
Vincent, do you keep chasing down the two of them? I imagine with Daydreamer.
I'm gonna try and scramble
actually-
up a wall.
I'm actually just hoping that Daydreamer can just go while I just stand there looking down at Ozzy, and I was just gonna talk to them.
Yeah, okay. For flavor, I'll say you could do that. What would you like to talk to Ozzy about?
He's gonna kind of sit next to you and dissipate Daydreamer. So a little bit of team training, not your style, huh?
As you're like looking down at Ozzy as he's writing in his notebook, you notice that he is in fact taking stats of both Ziggy and Najee's character. What's your character's name again, Najee?
Cassio.
Casio. Castillo or
Hmm.
Casio?
Cassio.
Casio.
Totem.
Okay. I'm just taking
Oh.
stock of them.
Okay. Actually, that could be extremely beneficial. I was actually just going to take mental notes and tweak them as we go, but if I had some statistics to hold on to. How about this? If you continue taking notes for me and keeping the stats of our allies here and how we can better and more efficiently tweak our teamwork and our individual prowess, I won't ask you to do... You can only do one training a week. How's that sound?
I mean, you're not my boss, but okay.
Ah, now we're talking. Alright. Well, hey. What? Now that it is just us, and I know, nothing personal, nothing's gonna be coming out of you, but, you seem more level-headed than the rest of us. Why are you sticking around?
There are things I need to square away. Things I can't do anywhere else.
Are these things that we can help you with? Is that kind of the reason?
He gives you like a up and down and then like almost like a squint like I don't think so.
We indoors or outdoors?
You're outside. You guys went outside. There's actually near the Charging Port Motel, about, I'd say half a block down. There's this big court that seems for sporting games to be played in. The ground is made of like rock that's kind of broken up in a few places with makeshift goals that have lights hung on them for visibility on either side. And I assume, like, since you two are monks and little speed demons, you're kind of taking off in different directions across the block. Speaking of which, I would like both of you to roll me a d20 again.
I'm gonna try and scramble, like, up a wall. Like, try and take the roofs if I can.
Okay. 13 and 10. Let's see here. I need you, as you're kind of scaling up this wall, Ziggy, or a wall, make me an acrobatics check.
22.
Absolutely. You scale up to the top of the building, no problem. You kind of like clamber over some junk that's kind of like kept on one side. Maybe somebody was just stashing something in this back alley. But you make it to the rooftop, no problem. Are you like doing this in the case of just trying to out-mobilize Daydreamer, or are you trying to hide?
I'm trying to out-mobilize Daydreamer.
Okay, in that case, do either of you use another key point to step in the wind, or do you just keep moving at your normal pace?
I'm going to...
So you think you know Wix? Do you really?
Let me see...
First up, we've got shake video.
Nah, I'm not gonna stay with the wind.
Okay. In that case, you kind of break even with Daydreamer. Still a good distance away from them. As well as you, Cassio, you don't really have any complications as you're taking off to wherever you take off. Vinny, the two of them are doing pretty well so far. Daydreamer is kind of keeping even pace with them, but hasn't seemed to gain much ground. The ground that would have been gained on Ziggy was immediately split once again by Step of the Wind. So they're doing well so far.
Good, good.
Ozzy, look, I'll just leave it at this, all right, bud? You're in our crew for now, for as long as you want to be, obviously. But if you need any help with anything, or if you need us to pull our efforts or attention to something else, when you're ready, don't hesitate.
So you got all these features. Now see what you can do with them. Get on over to Wix and create something.
He almost like appears like he wasn't listening, and then he asks you, "So what is Daydreamer?"
I guess the simplest way to describe it, he's just a literal manifestation of my soul. A little piece of me, pure arcanic image of maybe how I see myself. It's a little complicated. But a gift, nonetheless.
Gift. At this, like, it feels like for the first time Ozzy's actually, like, looking at you. A gift from where?
Very funny you ask. Gift from the heavens.
Is it a physical gift?
And he like looks left and right conspiratorially and kind of starts leaning towards you. The ritual is.
Fascinating. He's like clicking his little pen. So you require a ritual to summon him?
No. There's a ritual done to unlock the potential to just have him.
So it was a one-time deal.
That's the fun part. Who knows? As far as I know, no one's done it more than once.
Do you have any leftover components from this ritual?
And he kind of just clicks his tongue and waves a finger at you. I think that's enough for now, but whenever you plan on trading some information with me, I'll be willing to share a little bit more. No rush. We got all the time in the world. But you seem interested for the first time since I've ever met you, so I think I'm going to hold on to a little bit more information to have some more genuine, interested conversations with you. And he's just going to stand up and start looking at his timer. What are we at right now?
We're about almost like halfway through.
Okay.
It's been a minute, which to you guys has felt forever. Speaking of which, Cassio and Ziggy, make me another D20 roll. 4 for Cassio and 15 for Ziggy. Okay. Cassio, make me an acrobatics check as you tuck yourself behind another back alley and are tightening these corners, trying to break ankles.
And
Okay. What's up?
I was gonna say, Ziggy is going to be running, and he's going to very suddenly stop. And he's gonna wait for Daydreamer to get there, and he's just going to try and deck the fuck out of it.
Daydreamer is actually not far behind you. I'd say they're only about 40 feet behind. But Cassio, you just barely, as you weave a corner, maybe it's just instinct, maybe it's just footwork, you barely, like, you feel your foot kind of clip on something on the ground, and you just barely don't trip and go ass over teak headland, fall prone, as you keep on going.
That was really crazy. I was gonna say, bro starts to scan the grounds from fun for loose coins.
Okay. As you look back and kind of realize what you were about to trip over, you realize that it's a leg, and there's just kind of somebody.
A leg.
Somebody's just kind of like one of these ways that you turn. Somebody's just kind of like sat down, just propped up against the side. They're not really moving. Maybe they're like asleep or busy.
Dead.
Passed out. I don't know. Good question.
Yeah.
But you said you're just gonna stop and inspect the place for a second.
I'm gonna do that. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Cassio's gonna inspect to see any signs of life.
Okay. Make me a medicine check.
Medicine.
And also, Ziggy, you said you're stopping and just waiting to deck Moon Age Daydreamer, right?
Yes.
Not
okay.
my baby.
Make me an attack roll with, I imagine, an unarmed strike or whatever you're using.
I'm gonna use my fucking nunchuck.
Nunchucks.
Like, you can
Hilarious.
tell, like, Ziggy was running, and he kind of forgot the fact that this was a game and started genuinely freaking out.
Running for his
And is
life.
like, why am I running from anything? And just fucking turns around and swings at full force at this thing.
Hell yeah. Alright, make me an attack roll. And also, Cassio, as you kind of like get closer to inspect this body, after, a second, it's less of a close inspection, more so of like a glance of like, considering they're propped up, it's, they're not slumped, so it's mostly likely that they're probably not like dead or anything. Maybe they're just like chilling or passing out or conked out. You don't know.
Do I have to roll to ask if they're okay? Because he totally tripped over this person.
You don't have to roll to ask a question,
Just
but you are. Moon Age
Oh my
Daydreamer
God.
is catching up to you now that you've stopped. If you want to keep the game going or not, it's entirely up to you. And
oh,
then
yeah, we're playing a game.
Ziggy,
Let me
you.
say timeout.
Okay, see. I guess Vinny, Cassio tries to say timeout to Moon Age Daydreamer. Would Moon Age respond and respect that wish, or would he keep the game going for your sake?
He'd stop just to like mentally transmit that to me, and I just laugh to myself and just give him like the command of it's cool. Give them a second.
All right.
Cool.
Moon Age Daydreamer stops in front of you, Cassio, and then you, Ziggy. With the way that mirror image works, you immediately make a swing of your gunchucks right towards the face and shoulder of this wispy, cloudy figure barreling towards you, and it just passes right through it as it begins to dissipate into smoke and vapor. You are safe.
Well, 2 of them were chasing him. I sent both, because you get 4 clones. 2 to Cassio
Oh,
and
you
2
sent 2 to each. Okay,
Yeah,
in
yeah,
that
yeah,
case,
yeah.
you're getting there is one other. You have dealt
I'm
with
gonna
one of your super
Flurry of blows and attack the other one.
Okay, absolutely. Make me 2 attack rolls for Flurry of Blows.
23.
And with a follow up after immediately sending the first one into vapor and smoke, the second one also dissipates. You are momentarily in this vacated area surrounded by wispy clouds and almost steam-like vapor that just kind of lowly hangs and doesn't move too much. But you are, for at least the moment, safe.
Safe.
And Cassio,
And I'm gonna
said you
start
wanted to- my fault.
meandering back. I'm gonna start running back, actually.
Okay. This would be the third round of running, so you're good. You still have stamina. Cassio, you said you wanted to ask this person if they're okay.
Yeah. He goes, bro, I'm so sorry. Are you okay?
Huh?
Is homie okay?
Hey.
Are you good?
This figure kind of leans up. They have like a long cloak and hood over them, and they just, you see like a little bit of a patchy beard underneath. Like you can't see their eyes or their nose, but you can like see their mouth, and you can see the beard that's like patchy and graying like brown, and the teeth underneath. And he says, who are you?
My name's Cassio. I got in your way, I believe. Is there anything I could do to help you? Are you alright?
Yeah, can you help me up real quick?
Yeah, of course.
And he's just gonna kind of reach an arm up out to you, and both Cassio and Ziggy, give me like 1 second.
One.
My fault. Give me like 1 more second.
One.
All right. Cassio does a 9 hit you, and Ziggy does a 16 hit you.
No.
Both of you watch in separate places in time as this man that you are helping up takes what seems to be some kind of hilt, almost like a small switchblade, from underneath his sleeve, and out underneath it ejects this small, tiny beam or a blade of antimatter as he kind of like very sloppily, like without much finesse or tact, kind of makes this wide swing at you, almost with a little bit of desperation. And then Ziggy, you also kind of out of instinct dodge what seems to be something thrown at your head. That you
I'm
bob
gonna
out
use
of
my
the way
reaction
because
to
Catch
detect
projectiles.
missiles.
Yeah, absolutely. So roll me the deflect missiles, which you have the number.
It's my
1d10 plus your dex mod plus
modify.
your monk level.
I'm level 4, D10, dex is plus 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
You catch in your hands what seems to be a shuriken that seems to vibrate a little bit. Would you like to throw it back in the direction that you caught it from?
Yes, I would.
Okay, make me an attack roll. I imagine using your unarmed modifier since it's a monk weapon.
Yeah, I'll just use 20.
Okay. As you catch it and kind of throw it back on pure reflex, you hear a ah! As this figure that's kind of like a silhouette in the cloudy vapor, about as tall as you but a little thicker, kind of just grunts out in pain and then kind of falls to their knees on the ground and like, fuck, what the hell?
Yeah, what the hell, man?
Yeah, what the hell's right?
Cassio, as you kind of like easily dodge this wide, desperate swing from this old man's antimatter dagger, he kind of just looks at you and goes, "Oh man, I thought that would work."
Hi.
You're
Are
not
you
gonna-
working for Raymond Gunn?
And you say that as this man, as the vapor kind of dissipates, and Moon Age Daydreamers' visages kind of go away after you beat the metaphysical breaks off of them. You see, kind of on the ground, on his knees, kind of clutching this bleeding shoulder on his side. This, what cannot possibly be older than like teenage equivalent years, half orc with kind of like shaggy neck length hair, a scar on his face, He's kind of like wincing and grunting in pain. He has this like very almost Mad Maxy kind of Fallouty piecemeal armor that's made of like a couple of leather straps and very obviously like metal plates that were just kind of screwed or nailed onto there, as well as like a shoulder pauldron that's made from part of an engine, which didn't really do much to protect him from the shuriken he threw back at him with even more force. But he goes, gun? No, I mean,
Did they send you? Yes, I think they sent him. Yes. Who sent you?
Who sent me? What, gun? I mean, he put out the bounty. Well, I think he did. Look, man, I need this money more than you do. It's not like you're turning yourself in, okay?
How much money do you need?
I don't know. I just knew that if I got that much, I would never need to work a day in my life, nor would anyone else in my house.
I'm gonna look this teenager up and down, and I'm gonna give him 200 credits, and I'm going to say, if you ever, what's the word? No, yes. Never mind. Goodbye. And I'm going to walk away.
He is just completely and utterly aghast as you just kind of place this unit of currency in his hands. He looks at it kind of like disbelievingly, almost as if like he wasn't sure what you handed him for a second.
Oh, and I'm going to turn around real quick. I'm going to take the shuriken out of him. I'm going to say, what's your name?
Orin Stonefist.
Orin Stonefist. Do you want to... die?
Well,
His almost like kind of golden yellowish eyes narrow to the point where they look like slits. They dilate that much. And a tear rolls from his eye and goes, I really don't want to.
Okay. You don't have to.
Are you
So
for real?
here's what you're going. No. I don't do that. I don't do that much. Come with me. Come with me.
Oh, okay. And he kind of like gets up and like kind of like rips a little bit of cloth from a sleeve of his shirt and kind of like plugs it into his shoulder to clot the bleeding and gets up with you.
I gave him 200 credits, so they'll only mark that.
Okay.
He's balling.
And I'm gonna go back to
Balling.
Daydreamer, or to fucking Vincent.
Okay,
Goes
back to
follow.
Cassio.
Yeah.
This man, much older, is kind of just like staring at you pathetically at this point as he kind of
Wait,
just
there
like
were two separate
recedes.
people?
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
there was
separate
the-
A
events.
teenager caught me,
Yeah,
and an
you
old
guys
man
are in
got
separate
you.
places right now. Like you guys are.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
you
far
guys
away
are a
from each
little.
other.
Yeah. So that's why I was like turning
Old
the scene
man.
back to you, where this guy is
Yeah.
kind of like slowly backing away. He like totally missed with the antimatter dagger, and he like still holding it, almost like just out to like kind of keep you away. Is like, I need that money.
What money?
You're not. What?
What?
Are you? You're with those guys, aren't you?
There's a bajillion and one groups all over the place, and that's so vague. Look, are you good or not?
No, I don't think so.
It's
I should go check on some people. You're not going to kill me for trying to kill you, right?
I mean, that's kind of how it works around here, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But, look, if I'm being completely honest with myself, I heard from somebody yesterday that we were supposed to go after these people, if we were supposed to, young upstarts, new bounties on the board. We thought it was easy pickings. But I've lost my touch. I just didn't want to work another day under that bastard Ray.
I think anyone wants to work at all, anywhere.
Then why do they do it over there? And he kind of like points, and as the sun is kind of like rising and daybreak is coming to dawn, it kind of illuminates even like in these back alley buildings that aren't too terribly high, the much higher buildings inland, like the the now blackened Ray of Sunshine Theater, very, very far off in the distance, you kind of see the outskirts of the Pulse District, with smokestacks kind of billowing into the air in the other direction. Just many, many industrial brick and mortar buildings that are probably housing like businesses or markets. They all work, but working out here just isn't the same. Do I know you? Are you from around here?
I don't think it matters. Look, if you're good, I'm gonna go. This
Okay,
isn't...
please don't tell anybody I did this. I've lost my touch.
Yeah. Later.
And he just kind
Later,
of like
loser!
slumps off in shame. Meanwhile, Vinny, as you're talking to Ozzy, both Cassio at similar times, both Cassio and Ziggy return. Ziggy having what seems to be this slightly wounded, or not even slightly wounded, like kind of wounded, half-orc teenager in tow, with like kind of this piecemeal, like nailed and bolted up leather and metal plate armor.
Hey, he needs money.
No,
You
I
also-
really don't. Is this real?
Shh. Shh. He
Ziggy,
needs money.
why are you bringing in strays?
Strays? He threw this at me. I'm gonna show him the vibrating shuriken.
He tucks his
So-
head in shame.
And he really needs money. And his name is, what was your name?
Or in Stone Fist.
And he needs money. So I brought him here.
What? He just has like got his hands out begging for money on the streets? I don't
No,
understand.
No,
He
tell
like you make eye contact as you were about to say the same thing.
you tell him.
Okay. I tried to collect his bounty. You're not gonna
No
kill
way
me,
that happened to
right?
you too.
He asked me if I want to die, and I said no. And he like grows like a face of concern for a second. There was another guy. What happened to him?
He didn't look-
You got assassinated too?
That's crazy.
Yes.
I'm gonna go in for a double high five.
Smack both.
Vincent's gonna cross his arms. You wouldn't happen to be related to anyone named Stonearm or Ludin, right?
Stone arm? I don't. Maybe I don't know. I mean, if I am, it's like something I have no idea about. But you, and he kind of points at you, Cassio. You said there was what happened to the other guy?
Old guy didn't look too well off at all. So
He's not.
no.
Did you?
Do you know him? Are you working together?
He kind of like hesitates for a moment and then looks at you and just is completely unable to get a read on what kind of attention you have with that question. And
I'm
goes,
just staring at him,
"We,
wide-eyed.
Yeah, I guess. His name is Sai. We live together, along with a few other people.
What are you, like a band of assassins?
If only it were so dignifying as that. We were, I guess, soldiers? I don't really know what else to call it. Muscle, enforcers.
For what?
For Mr. Gunn.
So you did work for him, Gun.
Well, we don't anymore. He fired us. Said we're being replaced. And now we're hungry and
Do you know where he is?
I mean,
We're gonna kill him. We're gonna kill Raymond Gunn.
really?
Oh yes. They know that.
Is that why you? I mean, not to get too nosy, but is that why you burned down the Ray of Sunshine?
No, we just wanted to do that. What?
More of a statement. More of a statement of declaration of war against him. So yes, that is why we did that.
He kind of thinks for a second and goes, "That makes sense now that you say it out loud." I mean,
You're gonna help us kill him. You're gonna help us kill him.
I can, but I'm not very good at that stuff anyway. I mean, I never was.
I'm gonna make you better. I'm gonna make you better.
Slow
Don't worry,
down,
don't worry.
slow down, Ziggy. Is he obviously like a teenage of his?
This is a
species?
teenager.
Okay, yeah.
Like
Vinny's
in
gonna.
human years, he is like 14.
Yeah,
Oh,
Vinny's gonna
he's a
walk up
young teenager.
and be like, Ziggy, no, stop. Orin, was it?
Yeah.
Listen, kid. Yes, we are about to make some changes here, and we plan on toppling this tyrant, Mr. Ray. And when we do, there will be a lot of new opportunities coming up. What I need of you and your merry band of old warriors, soldiers, or muscle, whatever you are, I need you to keep your head low. And when it's all done and all the smoke clears, come find us. We got an employer amongst our group who's going to be opening up some shops. Maybe we can get you a job. Something honest. Something that'll keep you away from true direct danger. You still work on and live on Twilight, so you're always going to have that bit of danger. But nonetheless, you don't need to be hunting after dangerous folk like ourselves.
Oh,
you're too
wait.
young, kid.
You work for Gun. Do you know where the tournament is?
Oh, I never got picked. I fought some. Gunn had us do trials a few years back when we were, still employed, but I never got picked. I think Sai did, but he is nowhere near the shape that he used to be.
Sai knows where the tournament is then?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, he's been.
What was her name? Oh,
Cassio.
yes, you're right. It was that Cassio. Where is he? The old man. Did you kill him?
Back down that alleyway. No, I left him because he tried to kill me, but he was in bad shape.
If you're completely serious about everything you're saying, do you actually want to topple Mr. Gunn? Are you saying you actually want to,
Well,
kill him?
I just want to ask him a few questions, really. But
Oh.
I mean, I don't care either way.
I'm
but
not.
My friends, they want to do it. They want to talk to them. Yeah.
Okay. Will getting into the tournament help you with that?
Yes, it would.
It'll give us a lot closer if you got if you really have a way to get us in, or this Sai guy.
I can ask Sai and he can tell me. Although it might be different. I don't know the rules. But I can try. As long as, And I promise in return we'll lay low like you said, looking at you, Vinny. And we'll stay quiet and try to be honest and not go after any stupid crazy bounties anymore and try not to die, right? And sorry, I'm getting really optimistic. Just don't die trying to, become new big faces in town. Cause
I have something for you. I think I have something for you. Actually.
Huh?
I'm gonna reach into my bag. You know that bag of guns and shit that I found in the backstage? I'm gonna hand him those. Here, you're gonna get these.
Just like it's like a small little like duffel bag with some patchwork on it and some leather, but it's just like full of phasers and other small grade weaponry, as well as a couple of daggers and things like that. Nothing
Hey.
too expensive, but clearly just like a bundle deal. Like just to defend myself, or
Yes, or no, that's
Sell for
you need
money.
honest work. Never mind. I was gonna say
Sell
if you
for
could.
money.
No, like crime. Yes, robbery.
Ziggy, we're trying to keep the
Getting
child
mixed
off
up
the
here.
streets. Kid, listen to me. Ziggy is he means well, but he's missing the point of keeping you off the streets. Here, let me get another one of our comrades, and let's all go down to where your friend is, because clearly, and I didn't have the foresight for this, but clearly we need to stick together now that our bounties are out, and especially you, Ziggy, have such a high one. We're definitely marked. So
Yes.
let me go get Nisa, and you can
really
lead
should have
us
paid
that
those
way.
parking tickets. Fuck. I'm so stupid.
Vinny's gonna run inside to get Nisa.
As Vinny goes inside to get Nisa, Ozzy, are you still outside?
Ozzy.
I was.
Ozzy.
Orin's just gonna look at you, Ziggy, and go, "What's a parking ticket?"
If you are, what's the word? Parked in a ship bay, and you, I don't know.
Oh,
I don't pay. I don't really deal with them, obviously.
I thought you were just saying parking, take it, like how sometimes there's vehicles on the side of the road and people will just come by and strip it clean for its parts.
Oh, I saw that happen to a helicopter.
You saw that happen to a helicopter?
Yeah.
Wow. Cool.
Yes.
Oh.
That's how we blew up the thing. We took the fuel cell and we or not me, not we. Really, it was them, the ones with the technical know-how. But yeah. Anyways, go. Let's go find Cisse or Sai.
Oh, I can. I mean, are you trying to come with me?
Yes.
Okay, promise you won't. If I bring you back to everybody else, promise nothing bad will happen.
Of course not.
Okay, cool. Vinny, you go inside to get Nisa. Nisa? Vinny comes inside to get you.
As you come inside, I'm leaving my room. Just in time.
Hey, Princess. Training got cut short. We're gonna go check on some things. I guess we got, again, our plot magnets have directed us towards possibly the tournament. So can you join us? We're starting to get noticed, and the bounties are actually legit posted everywhere. We can't really go alone anymore.
Yeah, I was coming out anyways. And you'll notice that my jacket, it was like a crop top before, right? It stopped like right at the ribs. And now it's sort of dangles down like full length. But where the jacket itself cuts off, the part that dangles down is like this nebulous glow with these like, it looks like nerves running throughout them. And like I said, it has that spinal piece on the back. Ready? Tip-top shape, better than ever.
Damn,
Let's get to
Princess. All right, I like it. Let's go before he runs off without us.
it. Honestly, that might be for the better.
If anyone needs protected, it's him. And it's not because he can't defend himself. It's
Because
because,
he's
well,
fucking insane.
yeah, there you go. We head out to hopefully still see
Nice.
Ziggy
The
with
two of
him.
you head out and just catch the tail end of Ziggy kind of heading off with young Orin in a direction. Everybody else going along, or are you staying behind as if this is beneath you?
Bro just said we had to stick together, so I'm going.
It is good advice.
Yeah.
In that case, Aestus finally wakes up. She kind of like pushes a couple of empty soda cans off of her bed and kind of like rubs her feathered fingers across her eyes to get the boogies and the sleepy out. And then, of course, Raven wakes up and kind of comes as well, pocketing her little lucky cat that she keeps on the nightstand. And a lot of you head out. Ziggy, you kind of like following behind Orin as you turn corner after corner. He kind of looks back at you and goes, I don't mean to, I mean, obviously, you know, we're going to the soldier's recompense right now, but are you Would you want to show me that helicopter one day, or is it already gone?
It's been stripped clean. But,
Oh.
one of my friends has a ship. I can show you a ship.
Okay. I mean, I've seen those before.
Oh,
But I mean, I wouldn't mind looking at it if it's cool. It's
Maybe.
this way, and I'll kind of like turn another corner, and you guys
he
will
knows
like
that.
kind of heading further and further into the outskirts, almost like on the border of the Pulse district and of any real civilization. The buildings get more and more sparse until eventually you come across what seems to be what was once a building that was kind of definitely purposed for something like municipal, or like maybe even like a trading center or a bank that takes up the better half of a block. Has quite a few barriers around it in the form of like roadblocks and traffic cones and nailed boards on the windows and stuff. Mainly just preventing break-ins and kind of keeping people away just based off of vibes. And he kind of looks at this and goes, this is where Sai is, and he's been trying to take care of me and a bunch of other people here. The people who used to work for Gun before we got fired. But you know how it is. You can go in now. Sorry, yeah. And he'll kind of like push open these double doors. They don't have much give. Like he kind of really has to put his back into it to get them open.
And Ziggy clearly wasn't paying attention to said.
Yeah. But as he kind of like holds one of the double doors open, kind of just ushers the rest of you in.
We follow in.
Okay. You head inside, and what would be a lobby area of this old municipal building has kind of been repurposed into kind of like almost like a hangout room. You see there's these torn up couches that line a wall, a couple of chairs, and one of them even reclines, as well as a couple of hollow screens on one side that have one of them's like tilted, another's kind of like set up just against a wall, like on the floor, leaning against the wall, so it's kind of angled. You see in the corner there's like this little dresser that has what seems to be a game station, like a little portable device for games kind of sitting on top of it, as well as a couple of other things. Immediately upon going inside, you see a small handful of other figures that all seem to be of various sizes, ages, backgrounds. Obviously, Orin Stonefist walks in with you, who is a young teenage half-orc. You see this young Air Genasi, who also seems quite young and spry, much more thin and gaunt than Orin, who even by half-orc standards, Orin is not the biggest in the world, but maybe it's just his age. You see a Goliath in another corner, older, maybe like college age. He has a bald head and a clean-shaven chin, kind of square, and like a soft, almost like harmless expression on his face. And then you see an android in another corner, who, interestingly enough, has. She looks dirty, but underneath that wear and worn, she has kind of like this artificial red hair that's about neck length, and the chassis on her is quite ornate, despite being damaged and worn down and dirtied. It almost looks like fine china or ceramics, the way it has these kind of like subtle blue and green patterns on it that go up like her arms and her legs and her neck and her face. And a lot of them kind of just all crane their necks around and look at you guys enter, and Orin goes, it's okay. They gave me money. And the three of them immediately just give him a big thumbs up and go back to their activities. So these are my friends.
Very ragtag.
I guess so.
Oh yes. He knows that. He knows that, of course.
Of course.
Later. I love you too. Where's Sai?
Oh, Sai's probably somewhere around here. He leaves the most, but considering what just happened, he probably came back. And he'll kind of like go off into another room and kind of start looking around. You guys could follow him, or you guys could stay behind. It's up to you.
Vincent's gonna walk up to each of them and try to introduce himself and ask for their names.
Okay. Do you walk up to the Goliath, the Earth Genasi, or the Android first?
Oh, it was the Earth Genasi? Whoopsies.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah. He'll walk up to the Earth Genasi first.
Okay. The Earth Genasi kind of like has this really interesting set of hair that almost the hair itself almost looks like a mudslide in standstill. It's kind of like this rocky, wavy brown texture. That like one side of his head is shaved and it's like a dark grayish brown, and then the mudslide hair kind of careens over the other side. He's got like toned arms. He has like a young adult figure to him, and he goes, hello. You're nice to learn. So I'm Dune. Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Dern. Vincent. This is my people.
Yeah.
Well, Vincent. And he kind of like locks eyes with you for a moment and goes, I see. Sorry, I knew about, well, I imagine the fact that you are here with Orin, and I've heard from Sai since then, means that, well, I'm not gonna ask about it. But, and he kind of like goes back to this, mysterious, almost like, you're not even sure what's in the drink, like, it's like this dark brown mixture, that he just is kind of mulling over, and he takes a long sip and goes, sorry they, tried to kill you, I guess.
It's the nature of our business. We're pirates. We have bounties. Is what it is.
So is that really how this is? You're bona fide pirates. I mean, don't get me wrong, we have plenty of those around here, but they seem to go off-world. They don't really stick around.
We have a reputation to build before we go pirateering elsewhere.
I see. Well, best of luck with that. Just make sure not to get any of, them caught up in the crossfire, please. I know it's hypocritical coming from what just happened, but I tried to talk them out of it.
Orin seems like a good kid, and he's too young to be doing what he's doing now. And I know it's for survival, but I'm hoping that us being here can build a layer of trust as we do our business. You stay out of it, and you stay safe.
I hope so too. Well, I imagine you didn't just come here to see me.
And he's going to smile at him. You're correct. And he's going to walk over to the rest of them.
And he'll take another long swig of his beverage. As you go over to the Goliath, with kind of like a soft expression and a wide chin, he's kind of just like currently messing with a holocom, very like gingerly, as if like he's like doing the equivalent to like, you know, when older people kind of like push something just with their index finger, like on the phone, like they're an index finger only.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of like doing that, navigating it, and goes, "Oh, hello, I'm Ragnarok. Nice to meet you."
Ragnarok. What a very interesting name.
Thanks. Your mom gave it to me.
Oh man, I can't remember his name. Who's the rock dude from Thor?
Oh yeah, from Thor Ragnarok.
Krog? Is his name?
Getting
Krag.
heavy Krag
So,
vibes. All right, right on. Hey, how long you been running with these guys?
about 4 years now. We all got fired by Mr. Gunn. He said we were getting replaced, and we didn't like that very much. But we didn't really have much of a say, because, well, I mean, he was our employer, right?
True.
So now we're here, just kind of putting our skills to the test. I mean, you know, rather unsavory skills, but I guess they're far and wide out here as far as those skill sets go.
Can I ask you
Yeah.
a question?
Hmm?
This might just be me overthinking things, but
Yeah, what's up?
it sounds like you've not really got a purpose, huh?
I mean, no, I really don't. I'm kind of just, like a lot of other people out here on Twilight, just kind of trying to survive and make it work. But, after we got fired by Mr. Guns, Psy brought us all together. And now we're just kind of, living in the same place. We fixed it up all nice and, it was a forgotten old place, so you don't really have to pay rent like they do in the inner city, even if they get amenities and stuff like that. But it's nice enough.
So,
And, I got sidetracked. Yes, I guess
no, you're
I'm kind
okay.
of
You're
just
okay.
trying to make it. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, well, seems like you've got some pull here, yeah? Somewhat? Or am I reading things wrong?
Somewhat.
So, let me ask you a question. What would you like to do?
I don't know. I mean, I don't want to abandon these guys, but if I'm being completely honest, for the longest time after I got fired, I kind of just wanted to go back home. But it's okay if I don't. After all, we're taking care of each other here, and I used to have a family, but now I have another family, and I like both of them. I don't have a problem with these guys. I think they're cool and nice. But I do also have another family, and I don't really like saying it out loud too much because it makes the others feel bad, but I would like to go home one day.
Well, look. We'll see what happens later, but, just hearing that lack of purpose got me thinking a little bit, and I'd like to give you a chance to have a purpose.
Oh.
Fight back against Raymond Gunn. It sounds like you've got a chip on your shoulder.
Oh goodness.
Maybe give you another family. The whole lot of you.
Now, I'm not the most insightful person on this side of X9 though, but are you implying that this newfound family is yourself and your other people there? And he kind of like waves his finger along to the rest of the group behind you, just around the room.
Ziggy has just been staring at the video game screen, like empty-headed.
Okay, it's just it's an unsupervised video game portable device just on the top of one of the dressers. It's up to you if you want to mess around with it or not.
I mean,
Nah, I'm just gonna stare at it.
yeah. You're reading the implication correctly.
Okay.
I mean, you all have a skill set.
I mean, yeah, we do.
And we plan
used
to
be
take down
forced
Raymond
to
Gunn.
do this. Really now.
Indeed.
I mean, I kind of knew that already, I guess.
yeah, we're wanted
Vern was
people
talking
after
about-
all.
I mean, there's a lot of wanted people around here.
But
I
none
mean-
like us.
That is fair. Most of the wanted posters we see around are kind of just people having grudges against each other as somebody who owes somebody money. Not every day you see somebody, I don't know how you feel about it. Maybe pride, maybe regret burning down a theater inland.
Nope.
It was
Pride. I'm glad that I did it. I'd do it again in a heartbeat.
Well, it's very cool
I'd
that you think
fucking do
that.
it again.
If I'm being completely honest, I thought it was nice to read about, seeing that I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not like I enjoy seeing bad things happen to other people, even if the people I don't like, but seeing that just something for the first time in a while went wrong in the inner city, where things never really go wrong. All the things that go wrong are kind of out here. It felt reinvigorating.
Yeah, it just seemed like, everyone outside this city is in a shitter. I want to change that.
Really now.
I do. But, first things first, we need to take Raymond Gunn's fucking head.
I
It
see.
seems like a lot with your skill set could help.
Well, that's lofty goals you have, but if I'm being completely honest, I don't dislike them. So,
Dislike who?
I don't dislike those ghosts.
Oh.
I think they're, a nice breath of fresh air. Not every day you hear, well, except for that Rio guy. Not every day you hear people talking about just wanting to upset the current regime. And I mean, don't get me wrong, the Flawless Five are a pretty competitive set. They definitely change in and out every few years or so, but we've been in stagnation for a while. About 7 years now.
Well, they'll
Well,
all
ever since
change
Sam
pretty
showed up.
soon.
Well, if it changes, maybe I want to go back home, but I hope I get to be here to see it at least.
I'll give you a
Good luck.
ride myself. How about that?
Really? You would take me to Fristheim?
That's the ice place, right?
It is. It's
I've
also on
actually-
the outskirts.
I actually
it
wanted to
is.
go there, so
Really?
we could make it happen.
You just a tourist, or is this a bucket list type of thing?
A little bit of both.
Understandable. Well, let me know. Let me tell you now. If you truly are space pirates, like you said, or your friend there said, and you're trying to establish a reputation, I would have to even give you a little friendly warning if you have any intentions of conquering Fristheim. They have some of the strongest warriors on this side of the Ex Nihilo.
That's cute, but I don't really like that idea, that connotation. Conquering, see. I'm not here to conquer anything. I'm here to topple every monolith that stands before us and give the power to the people.
He kind of like mulls over that for a moment and thinks about it and goes, well, very few cases of adventurers and pirates and space pirates like that in the books. They're few and far between, but if you're being dead serious about all this, then shoot, I might just have to see it happen.
You will. Look, I'll tell you this. You'll never see my name as a blurb in a book. They're gonna make a whole fucking book about us, baby.
I like the way you talk, friend. Just please promise me that you won't get Orin and Sai involved. They deserve peace. Sai's too old, Orin's too young. I mean, obviously you're gonna have to ask Darren and Luna, but for me, depending on the case, I would absolutely be willing to help you topple monoliths, as you said.
Right.
I think that's neat.
Fantastic. Every
Don't
big
worry.
crew needs a fleet.
Orin is not being involved in any of this.
Thank you. He started working for Gun when he was 9, so he thinks it's normal. It's not, and it really shouldn't be. So we just kind of try to keep him here to make sure we have an eye on him. But thank you for understanding.
Of course.
Anyway,
Make
sorry,
our-
I'm gonna get back in my head.
We're gonna make our way over to the android lady.
Okay, the android lady who kind of seems to have like this ornate ceramic plating underneath a lot of dirt and soot. She seems to be in a corner, kind of like working on her arm almost, like applying a couple of tools to it and tweaking a couple of things. She like takes a loose wire and tucks it back in and goes, like she hasn't noticed you yet, even as you get closer and closer. She's kind of like entranced in her little self-improvement, one would say.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, hey.
Hey, just
Oh,
just
you're,
introducing ourselves.
Oh, and she kind of like takes a bounty chip out from her pocket and goes, "You're this guy." I mean, you can't see it, but if I plug it into a holocom, you can.
I am Vincent.
Hey, so, and she kind of like looks over your shoulder and sees Orin in the back of the room, just kind of like watching Ziggy watch the game device, and just like, huh. Neither of you are dead. That's strange. Well, I'm glad he's
Well-
okay at least. So what brings you here?
A child tried to do a man's work, and we're trying to make sure that he stays away from that kind of work. And apparently, he's got some information for us that will help us in our goals of stopping Mr. Raymond Gunn, an
Well,
old
that's
employer of
unfortunate.
yours.
Oh yeah, I used to work for the guy. In fact, he actually took a shining to me until, well, I guess I sided with the other people here, and he didn't really like that very much. He said I don't remember how he put it. Something about wanting to replace the others, but I still had a spot if he needed. I turned it down though. He's kind of creepy if I'm being honest.
Hmm. Oh,
Plus, I couldn't
so
just abandon Ragnarok like that.
nah, he's pretty sweet. So it sounds like you have a conscience. What's your name again?
Oh, Luna Legomorph. And she kind of like finally finishes tweaking whatever it was in her arm, and she like slides something back over her bicep and puts a couple of tools to the side. So, how can I help you? I assume if you're not here to turn yourself in and make sure we don't have to work another day in our lives. But you did say something about us not having to work another day in our lives for another reason. So, I'm all ears.
More or less, we're hoping that if we can get everyone on the same page here to kind of lay low and not stick their heads towards assassinating people out of their wheelhouse, keep your lives intact for a little bit while we topple the powers that be. And when things change, we got a few occupations that'll need employees, and then maybe this lot of yours can do some honest work and be a little safer than you are now.
Or join a fleet.
That definitely sounds much more fun. For me, at least. I don't speak for the others.
Okay. Dern. Can you come over here, Ragnarok? Can you come over here?
Oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely. And the two of them kind of like get up and walk over. Orin kind of like starts listening in on the conversation a little nosily, just kind of like watching for you to like non-verbally give him permission or shoo him off.
Definitely look at him, but then just shakes head like, nah, not for you.
He kind of like
guys,
puts his hands in his pocket and like, kind of like cartoonishly slumps his shoulders over a little bit and walks to another side of the room.
So look, we've been talking to you individually, just trying to get to know you, but my captain here has brought a new level of usefulness that you guys can all partake. Only if you're interested. I still am offering honest work for your future if you keep your head low, but she is offering a position in assisting us in the times to come in this toppling of Mr. Gunn. So I thought I'd ask all three of you at once to get your answers, what that looks like. Now, Ragnarok, and I don't want to speak for you, but this is just what my heart tells me. It sounds like you're willing to help us, but it sounds like you would just rather go home. And I don't know if you are willing to do both, but I'd prefer following the path that your heart sings.
Dern and Luna kind of both turn an eye over at Ragnarok as he goes, I would like to go home one day, but before I ever even think about going home for real, I would like to make sure that whatever it is you're talking about, whatever dream this is of yours, that it comes true. Because if I left here knowing that the hegemony of Mr. Gunn was still leaving all these people like us out here in the dust, and if I left, well, and he kind of like, puts a fist up to each of the shoulders of Dern and Luna and goes, and, if I left these guys behind, well, I'd have to come back eventually. I wouldn't be able to live with myself. I wouldn't be able to sleep. And Dern just kind of like, just looks away and is like, ugh. And Luna's like, oh, you old lug. You gosh darn cutie patootie, you silly goose. And she kind of like smacks him on the shoulder back, and like his Goliath tough skin and her like android metallic arm, like the impact is clearly harder than it needs to be, and like they put more force behind it than they need to, but like they don't care, they're tough. But the three of them just kind of look back at you, and Dern goes, well, I mean, I know what Ragnarok said, but if you really think that I could be of any use to you, then I'll help. But I'm not as keen on fighting as these other two still are. They still have them ass-kicking genes in them. And Luna goes, "You can say that again. I absolutely love kicking ass. I mean, no particular reason. I just do it for the love of the game. But yes, if you ever do want to beat the ever-living shit out of Mr. Gunn, I will be there, no matter what."
Well, you can help in other ways. Information, intel.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Yeah, okay, yeah.
We won't force you to fight if that's the boundary for you. Don't worry about that. We've got plenty of fighters in our own crew now. But Luna, you definitely seem like an ass kicker. Sounds like you'd rather have fun doing that than
She kind of like does a little bit of shadow boxing at that remark.
Okay. So what all do you bring to the table, anyways? What did you do for Raymond? Is what I should ask. How did you do them?
Ragnarok will look at the other two and be like, "Well, all of us here were kind of like enforcers of brutes. Like Muscle in Mr. Gunn's early days of regime, to let people know that they owed him or that they crossed him, or to bruise people up a little bit. It wasn't the most pleasant work, but we thought we were following some order and law at the time, so it felt good. Better than just, I don't know, a lot of other things. But over time, it became more and more obvious that what we were doing for him was kind of just a part of the food chain, that it wasn't a mutually beneficial or symbiotic relationship. And obviously we know that now because he discarded us. But for the longest time, yes, we were all bruises. We were all in... It sounds kind of rude to say it like that. And Luna kind of pipes up and goes, "It is perfectly fine to say it like that. We beat up people. We took their money. That's just what happened. It doesn't change it if we put it any other way or say it nicer. We let people know that they crossed Ray, that they owed Ray, or that Ray simply didn't like them. That was just how things were. It's how things are now. I guess he just has different guys for it, whoever the hell they are."
Okay. All right. If you guys are keen on joining us, or at least helping us when time is needed, I only have one stipulation for you if you're ever going to be associated with us.
Huh?
We don't hurt innocent. We kick ass, we take names, and we defend ourselves so that who are with us are alive. But if someone is not associated to the event, they do not die. Is that understood?
Yeah, that is totally... Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was never really big on that in the enemy either.
Good. All right. Well, maybe we could talk further details after we meet Size. Oren, is he actually here, or?
Oh, let me find him. He may be upstairs. Sorry. And he kind of like scutters off into a corner of the room, finally leaving Ziggy alone, and just kind of like opens the door and goes up what seems to be a side room staircase, almost like at school halls and stuff.
And Ziggy is going to finally snap back into reality.
Oh, there goes gravity.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Well, welcome back, Ziggy. You're in a room full of friends and also strangers.
Oh fuck, where am I?
How did I get here? What happened?
I'm going to follow. I'm gonna just stand very, very close to Vincent, awkwardly close.
Vinny is getting used to his eccentric style and doesn't really mind it.
All right.
The other three kind of like watch you stand close behind him and go, friend of yours.
My name is Ziggy. Ziggy, No. Yes. Uh-huh.
Hello, Ziggy.
Stardust.
Ziggy Stardust. Cool name. Sounds like a musician.
Or
I have a guitar.
Oh. Do you and Durin immediately kind of like looks at it, like shakes his head a little bit.
What is that?
And I'm gonna point at the game console.
Oh, you know, we play that sometimes, but it's mostly Orin's. I'm sure as long as you don't break it, he wouldn't mind. It's a Game Station 7331. A little older, but holds up well. You know, back when they built things to last.
I'm gonna walk up to it. I'm gonna use the device.
Okay. As you kind of start playing on it over the course of, you know, the next little bit of time, it's kind of like, it creates a small holographic projection of, like, you know those McDonald's toys, like, from 2004, where they have, like, the soccer game or the football game, like, on the tiny little game device?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, where it's like, you know, like Pong, where it's like testing your reflexes and sharpening your abilities. But eventually,
go-
after a few minutes, Orin comes back down, and he kind of like gives you, Vinny, a thumbs up. Sorry, what were you saying, Ziggy?
Oh, I say never mind.
Yeah, you're good. As Orin kind of gives you this thumbs up, Vinny, he kind of wheels around the corner, and now his hood kind of removed. You see this older man with kind of like graying, very dark, almost kind of like oiled dark hair. The top of it kind of tied into a kind of like a top knot from, you know, the Eastern styles. His beard kind of just a little frazzled and unshaven, and definitely needed some care. But he has this like long cloak over him that kind of hides most of his body, and he looks at all of you and goes, "Oh, it's you. I thought Orin might have been joking with me. What brings you here?"
Many reasons.
I need to get into the tournament. We need to get into the tournament. We want to get into the tournament.
Ah,
And we want to kill Raymond Gunn. Well, I want to talk to Raymond Gunn. We need
His
to kill
eyes
Raymond.
kind of widen when you say "I want to kill," and then they kind of relax a little bit, and his brows unfurrow when you say "Mr. Gunn." And he's like, huh. Kind of like
Well-
shoots a look at Orin. Orin gives him a thumbs up and goes, "So
Well,
you
we
want
don't
to get
necessarily
into
have
the
to kill him,
tournament?"
I suppose. We could just subdue him, but we need to get
Well,
rid of
it's
him.
all the same to me. But if you're trying to get into the tournament, then I hope you've been fighting already. Usually people don't get picked this late into the game. After all, we are almost at the end of the year.
I fight. Yes, sometimes.
Anyone can fight. But can you fight not only good, but in a way that is pleasing to the eye? A way that woos the crowd. That
Unfortunately,
takes investors and other richer folk and attracts them to wants to make a trophy out of you.
And Ziggy kind of frowns at that.
I don't think I'm actually interested in that tournament all that much. Never mind. I don't care.
I
Gonna sit down and start playing video games again.
we need into the tournament whether to participate or to just observe. We need more information on Raymond. We know that's one of his big money makers and where he's heavily associated. Do you know how we can get in?
You will get in the same way anybody else does. By making sure you become well known at local underground fighting rings. There are many on this side of the moon. Here in the Pulse, over in the Lodestar, even some in the Omego. But mostly here in Pulse and Lodestar. But to garner the attention, you'll have to fight well. You'll have to fight as if your life depends on it. I did that for a little while. I even got inducted into the tournament sometimes. But the way the tournament works is that you never truly know if you'll ever be back. Because they always change where it is. It's not a centralized location. That's why, as much as I wish I could help you, I can't just tell you where it is. Only how to get where it is.
Can anyone be a sponsor or insert a fighter to get attention, to then get in themselves? How does one get an invitation? I obviously not just the fighter, but like, who are the people that are like recruiting these fighters to then fight into the end of the year tournament?
Usually business owners and insider traders who have a lot of money and have a hand in these kinds of things, usually in arms dealing or entertainment or gambling or even multiple pirate groups. After all, money talks around here. It really isn't about being official, it's more about just having the means to convince other people. But these investors, these gamblers, these moguls, the more well-known ones will handpick people and put them into a pool, and those people will be called, when they show up to tournaments again, to participate in the tournament for big payouts. It's always referred to as your big break. For some, it's a chance at retirement. For others, it's a chance to become what they swore to upend. That is the investors, the gamblers, those who run it.
Well, since you were in it, who invested into you?
A space pirate group, quite prolific, but they gave me a chance and I blew it. I suffered a grievous wound at the hands of another. And now, in my older years, I am weak. I have little to no fight left in me, but I do not regret those days. I simply regret that I couldn't take it to the finish line.
Well, since that's over, what are you thriving for now? Is it survival, protection of this group? What's your new dream?
Everyone else here has said the same thing, but yes, we are just trying to make it. I go out and collect dues. I hunt down small bounties and do a bit of enforcer work. I don't kill people, I just bruise people up and make sure dues are paid, and I get my share of the cuts so that I can bring things back here like food and boards for the windows, and he kind of like shoots a glance over at young Orin, and video games. But the others help me out. They take care of me too. Don't let me make it sound like this is a one-way road. These are good people, and they all deserve much better than was done unto them by Mr. Gunn.
We can see that. We can see you guys are good people. But that's something that's got to change in the sense of how good you are. You sending out Orin, whether he chose it or you just agreed to it, there's got to be a new level of keeping that kid safe. You know this, yeah. I know this. That's a child.
He kind of like hangs his head in shame and goes, "This is true, and I am sorry." While it does not change the fact that I have asked him to do things on my behalf, there is no excuse, whether it is him being too young or me being too old. I cannot say that I am too old to lose wisdom or sight of things. I should be able to provide, to know what's best. You are right.
Good. Now that you're done with that, a new leaf has started, and I trust that you will have better intentions with him, while the rest of us topple this Raymond Gunn, and hopefully give you a better space to be a good guardian for this kid as he grows up like a real child should.
That is all I ask. As well as the fact that hopefully it happens soon enough for him to be able to still have some childhood.
Now, that space pirate group you were mentioning, what was their name?
It was an offshoot of a prolific, galaxy-wide pirate group known as Heaven and the Stars. To some, they are the scariest group in all of the cosmos, with widespread acclaim all the way from Aurora to Altair. But they have many offspring factions, that is how big they are. One of them sponsored me to become a good fighter for them. I am not sure why they did it, but perhaps they just simply saw who I was. The spark, the fight in me. Or so I optimistically imagine.
So let me ask you. Do we have better chances? Well, no, I'll start with this question. Is that chapter of pirate group still on Twilight?
He kind of like, even though you guys are under a roof, he looks up to the, as if looking up to the sky, and says, "It's entirely possible, but if they are, they're definitely locked in combat with the Hegemon Empire right now. Thankfully, we down here have not gotten caught in the crossfire too much yet, but I fear what may happen if either side of that war is won. Funny as it sounds, preferably I would much rather the space pirates win it. But either way, ever since we learned about whatever it is the Hegemon Empire could possibly be doing all the way out here on Twilight, space pirateers of all sorts have taken up arms and lunged at this opportunity to pillage and plunder such affluent starships and materials and warriors from the inner planets."
See. Vincent's gonna turn to the rest of his group. Alright guys. I'm not the brains of the group. With everything we've learned so far. Oh, go ahead, Ziggy.
I was gonna say at some point over the course of that conversation, Ziggy is going to put down the controller and he has broken it.
Okay. After fragging on that game for a little bit, you gain a +1 to your next attack roll you make.
Oh, yeah.
Now that your reflexes are sharpened a little bit.
Damn, great fragger.
You know, and you just see Ziggy just seems a little angry, really.
Sore loser.
Oh no, he
so-
won at the game.
Oh.
He was just
Can't
fragging
keep
too
playing
hard.
too hard. Okay, I understand now. Alright, with everything we've heard, what do we think our next step is? Do we want to try to find an investor? Do we want to throw some of ourselves into some rings and see if we can get a last-minute investor looking for someone to make them some coin? What are your thoughts?
Let's just all step in, huh? Why not?
It would increase our odds. I'm gonna actually consider that. I will consider it.
What would increase our odds? Can you repeat that?
All of us participating in trying to get an investor.
I'm not participating.
Ziggy, why not? You're like the one person who we got introduced as a fighter in a pit. What happened?
I don't fight for other people for money. I don't fight to entertain people anymore.
Well, but it's like an illusion. You're not really doing that for them. We're just trying to get closer to Raymond so you can ask your questions, remember?
Do you need me? Do you need me?
Well, I need all of you for whatever we can provide, but I'm not going to make you do anything you don't want to do, bud. If you're willing to get into a pit and get noticed, yeah, great. But if you're against it, we'll just have other options. But you would be a good fit.
I'll think about it. I'll consider it.
Okay. Cassio, what are your
Only
thoughts?
because you're my friend. Only because you're my friend.
I love you.
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
To everyone just jumping in and trying to see if we get noticed?
I mean, with better numbers, greater possibility.
Alright. But, Cassio, only because you've shared some things with me, your siblings, your parents, your family, the underground fighters, do they invest into any fight rings like this? Do they get involved financially? Or are they just the fighters who get invested into?
usually someone backs them. We don't know about the business parts. So if one of them hears about me involved, they just know I'm alive.
So we shouldn't reach out to them for any leads on how we can get this moving quicker?
If need be, I'm not opposed to it. Is this the next step? Or are we loaning it? I thought it was with the group now.
Yeah, we're with the group. We're with the group. We're with the group. We're with the group.
Right.
What if we kill the investors? Or not kill, subdue the investors, and then we take Gun out without joining the tournament.
I think the investors
So-
work for Gun.
Probably. I mean, that's where he gets all money, I assume. At least the investors having a pool of money. That's usually how it works. They're his life. So if we take out the connecting tissue, what's the word? The veins. We chop off the other parts. The other parts. You know, the head is very vulnerable.
Okay. All right. So, Ziggy, if I'm getting this straight, you want us to lure some investors by fighting, and then take them out to then weaken Raymond in his annual tournament?
Yes. We take his money. We take his money.
We take his money. All right. That's a unique and different path. Okay. Considered. Ozzy, quiet as usual, but I know your wheels are turning. What are your thoughts?
Thoughtless.
Oh no.
Head empty. I've been zoning out, bro.
Head in
I
the
cannot
book.
lie. I
That's
got
fair.
lost.
That's fair.
You guys kept yapping.
We are a group
That
of
is
yappers.
all D&D is a bunch of
Yeah.
yapping for a couple hours.
We are definitely yapping. Okay, fair enough.
Come back to me later.
You're
Look,
okay.
we could also just go down to the fucking the manufacturing plant or whatever the shit they told us to go to.
That is the more direct route and one guaranteed for dangerous conflict. Apparently, Raymond's new muscle, apparently replacing this generous and wonderful lot, is robotic and extremely lethal. Nothing we can't handle, I'm sure. We'll find out. But apparently the more dangerous route for sure. If that's what everyone wants to do, circumventing this tournament puzzle we're all trying to solve.
Like I said, we just all try to compete. I think that's easiest. Personally, look, the way I see it is this: it's simple. Raymond Gunn, from what I gather, is a fucking pussy. He's probably not gonna step foot outside of his fortress until he thinks we're dealt with. So, we might as well fight in this tournament, get some coin, get some information, and get a little bit stronger. Unless you guys want to go knocking on the door, which I'm totally obliged to do. Not obliged. Down with.
To be fair, I don't think he steps outdoors for anything. From the rumors Ozzy and most people have shared, he doesn't get out.
He'll get out
Never.
if we take all of his money.
I'm still into the
I don't
whole
think so.
investor thing. I'm into that. Well, all right. Well, I'm good with us all getting into different fighting pits to hopefully be noticed, get investors, then flip a coin on whether we steal the money from the investors or just allow them to recruit us for the tournament itself. But at least that's a start. Do we want to start with that, or do we want to go headstrong? That's kind of our two routes right now.
Eh,
I'm down
you
with
know
the
what I do
fight.
when I
don't
can't decide?
care.
Do we know if he's gonna be at this, like he's gonna watch the fight,
we do not
like at
know.
the tournament, or?
Sai, would he be there?
I have seen him there before.
Okay. Well, that's even more reason we definitely want to try to get in. If we can catch him off his home turf, or at least not his real home turf, the industrial gun, that might be something.
I'm
All
not
right.
much of a fighter, but I am a good stealther, and I'm quite little. If you guys can provide enough, like, big boy distractions in the ring, I could do a little something something.
Are all of these tournaments or fights 1v1s? Do they have group fights?
From my time in there, maybe it was just because I was alone. Most of them are one-on-one combat. Despite the the vile nature of it all, the gambling and whatnot, it almost seems to try and simulate some form of honorable one-on-one combat. Funny as it may be.
What's wrong, Vinny?
Okay.
Scared without me having you back?
He smiles at your little taunt. No. I just want to better our odds. I will be fine. Everyone raise your hand who wants to actually participate in the fights to be noticed. Vinny will raise his hand.
Fuck it doesn't hit. I'll put my hand up.
Luna raises hers.
Ooh.
Nice.
Dern and Ragnarok kind of just like shoot a glance at her, but don't object. And Sai and
support
Orin obviously keep their hands down. Orin almost puts his up, but realizes that they're stupid and he doesn't.
Ziggy is going to kind of looking everybody a little up and down, kind of sizing you up. You can tell, like, similar to like the way like a boxer would check out his opponent, essentially. And after doing that for each of those of you that have raised your hands, he is going to begrudgingly put his hand up.
Cassio?
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do that.
Yeah, for sure.
And Aestus and Raven Octavia will be Schrodinger's response until
Yeah.
Their players would want.
Okay.
But
Alright.
Luna will pipe up afterward and go, cool. So, not to dial back the conversation too far, but I did have a question. Vinny, was it?
Yeah.
Earlier you said something about Gun having people who are robotic and dangerous. What did you mean by that?
Don't quote me directly, but I remember hearing a rumor that his new superior muscle that he deals with problems now are robots, massive robots, deadly robots. That kind of metal, not your ass kickery half metal.
Dern and Ragnarok kind of like very slowly turn their eyes to Luna, who kind of just looks at the two of them and goes, cool, okay, good to know. Anyway, I hope you don't mind me tagging along to try and, also kick ass in the tournament.
Hey, you offered to help us with our goals going forward. You're more than welcome to be an extension of us.
Yeah, no, by all means. I'm just making sure you're not one of those "don't get in my way" type of people.
No, we haven't made it to that notoriety yet. Hopefully our heads never get that big.
We'll see about that.
But now that we know who our fighters are, and this is to the entire warehouse of people, where would be a good place to get noticed? Where's a good fighting rink for us to go get our hands dirty?
Don't I know of a fighting ring?
You know of a fighting ring, Ziggy and Cassio would know of fighting rings, and you also know quite a prolific fighter who used to be in charge of one, Rio.
That's true.
I assume we would compare notes. Is there one that we know to be like more infamous than another?
For the longest time, it was the loaded ray gun, but it has been cleared out now since it was abandoned by Rio when you guys headed out.
Okay.
There are a couple of others.
Can we ask Sai where he thinks we should go?
You could always try the stargazing floor. It's closer to the outskirts, but I've heard that it's actually quite a popular meeting ground between people here as well as in the Lodestar district. So having people from 2 different locations having eyes on you could be most beneficial if you're trying to quickly gain notoriety with only a month out.
Okay, let's go. Let's go there. Give us directions.
We can hollow comment. It's fine. We'll hollow comment.
Okay. And he'll do the video game thing where he marks a location on your map. It seems to be kind of like you're already quite far on the outskirts of town. This is about a quarter circle around, more so to the north side, where like the northwest kind of pushes off into no man's land, and across that no man's land is the Lodestar district, which is the closest other like major settlement of this side of the moon. It seems that the location he marks is an address that once was. So when you guys were at the dinner last night, you were at the revolving switchyard, which was a train that was kind of like on one of those little revolving switchyards, I guess, that kind of slowly rotated around and had multiple tracks that led off in multiple directions. It seems that the stargazing grounds is either underneath or at the very least built into an old train station connected to that part of the city. So
are you calling this the stargazing grounds?
Yeah, the stargazing grounds.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. So your best bet is if you set out from where you had dinner the other night at the revolving switchyard, you can just follow the tracks to the stargazing grounds building, which is an old train station.
All right, excellent. Luna, clearly you're with us. Ragnarok, Dern, you guys want to partake and at least observe, or maybe see what kind of muscle you were trying to deal with?
I'll come with to cheer on my best bud. And he'll kind of like look at Dern, who just kind of crosses his arms and shakes his head and goes, I think I'll stay here. Look after the kid.
With that, he will look at Sai and say, well, Dern's staying. Is it safe to assume you are too?
As much as I wish I could go back, I would be of absolutely no use. And he'll kind of like look at you for a second, and he'll like take the cloak that he has and kind of like pull it back a little bit to reveal his side, and you see it looks not fresh but still very grievous and debilitating. Like he has this horrid wound on the side of his stomach that kind of like almost has these strange, what look to be cracks that go off in different directions across his chest and his stomach, and where it seems like there was a point of impact that to this day is still kind of like dark and permanently like a reddish purple. And he says, I can move all right, but this hasn't gone away in, oh goodness, 3 years, I think.
Good lord.
What the fuck did that?
What?
What the fuck did that?
Well, my final opponent. Somebody I ran into at the tournament.
Who is it? Is he still fighting? Is that something that happens to a lot of people?
And he seems a little excited, really.
Well, I can't say I've seen this before. And he kind of like finally tucks the cloak back in and stops grossing you out with it, and he goes, I don't really see things like that often, but yes, people do get quite overzealous when they make it into the higher rankings of the tournament. They get more desperate. They know that they're closer and closer to their big break. But this was done by some strange weapon that I've never seen before. I was shot with a projectile that inflicted some kind of long-lasting wound upon me. Definitely magical by nature, but I haven't had the facilities to ascertain what it was yet.
All right.
It was given to me by
Oh.
a Mantid. I think he is from another district, but he was very sharp with guns, and he took no mercy on me. It was a miracle I made it out alive.
Well, good thing you did.
Thanks. Hopefully I can put these old bones to some kind of use. Best of luck to you all.
Thanks, old timer.
All right, guys. Let's get out of here. Let's go cause some bloodshed.
Hell yeah. So you guys head out.
Yes, please.
Nice. You take Luna along with you. Orin, Sai, and Dern stay behind. And after a little bit of contemplation, Ragnarok kind of begins to jog up behind you and catch up and go, I'm not sure if I'll enter yet, but either way I'll definitely cheer you on, Luna. And they kind of like slap each other on the back and like a loud metallic clang resounds. And a lot of you head off.
I have to protect these two with all my heart. They're too wholesome. Too wholesome.
They're so freaking heckin' wholesome, dude.
I love them.
But with that, with your next destination being the Stargazing Grounds, I think we'll end it there.
All right.
That way we can start next session with it.
Combat.
Exactly.
Yippee!
Yippee!
Combat.
Yeah. Also, mainly just because I was like, I want to have one session without combat, just a bit of a break. Even if it is like just 100% exposition and conversation, I was like,
Oh God.
I'm with it. It's always good to have that healthy balance.
yeah. Well, anyway, I hope you guys had fun. I hope it wasn't too dulling of the senses with the amount of RPing I was doing there in the middle.
No, you did phenomenal.
What are we here for RP?
Yes, Dungeons and Dragons roleplay, baby.
Let me put a note in that I got a +1 on my first roll next session.
Yeah, because your gaming reflexes are sharpened now.
I was
By the way,
balling on
I
them.
hope you guys had fun. This
Yes.
was nice as always.
Yes. Lots of fun. Time to do these notes.
Desire more.
Yes. All right, let's start the next session, boys, with combat. All right, what happened last
Oh,
time?
yeah.
We already
yeah,
know.
let's
Let's
go.
get to it.
Dragon Ball Z.
Yippee!
I love combat. I love combat.
I'm glad you guys like combat, because like me DMing has made me realize that I actually like combat way more than I thought, but I try not to just make it like 90% of my sessions.
Jordan, I need you to understand that if I was playing combat like 100% of the time, I would be in heaven.
All right, well,
I
you
gotta
love
get to that tournament then.
coincidentally-
so much.
You guys are coincidentally just about to be going into a fighting ring where it's going to be just combat.
Yeah, but I'm not playing my fighting ring character.
That is true. You're being in character, making the choices they would make, and obviously I'll have something for you. You did give an inkling that you might have some kind of plan involving,
I do.
Haste,
taking
haste,
actions
haste,
while
haste.
the other people are busy. Perhaps
have
getting
such-
the drop on somebody.
Oh my god. I kept on thinking about this anime I watched where they had like a fighting ring and like the girl was like, "Damn, I really don't like the guy who's ruling this country." And she just shoots him from the fighting ring with her gun.
That's awesome.
It was so good.
Damn, that's literally about to be
Indiana
Raymond
Jones
Gunn
type
getting
beat.
shot.
It was
True.
Kino's journey.
That did happen in
That did
Kino's
happen in
journey.
Kino's journey.
It was awesome. I think
Yeah,
about
it was pretty
I think
sick.
about that show often.
I
Oh
think
god, we about to be tournament arcing.
Yes,
Better
yes,
be twerking
yes,
in the ring.
yes.